Getting your Sitelink extensions set up properly on your Google Ads can boost your click-through rate as much as 20. We've even seen up to 30% improvement in click-through rates when this is done properly. Of course, you got to do it the right way. So I want to show you exactly how this is done. I'm Travis Wilkie. I'm the founder of Missoula SEO Geek, and I've helped manage millions of dollars in Google Ads over the last decade plus. And I want to show you exactly the strategy that we like to use for our clients in order to get that nice boost in click-through rate immediately when we launch a campaign by setting up Sitelink extensions the right way. So first of all, what the heck are even Sitelink extensions? Well, if you go to Google and you do a search for something like plumber near me, you're going to see some ads at the top, not every time, but usually. And you can see this very first ad takes up about half of the space. It takes up about as much room as these two combined, right? And that is because they're utilizing a Sitelink extension right here. This $33 drain special is allowing their ad to take up almost double the space of these two ads here. The more space your ad takes up on the page, usually the higher your click-through rate is going to be. And Google cares a lot about click-through rate. It's a big indication that you're providing a good user experience, and Google cares a lot about user experience because they make like 80 to 90% of their revenue from people clicking on ads. So they want people to keep coming back and clicking on more and more and more of their ads because that's where they make basically all their money, right? So we want to play this game that Google has set up the right way, right? Here's another example. If you search for oil change near me, same thing. The one at the very top, it's got the Sitelink extension, makes it much larger, much higher click-through rate. And these are just a couple examples I found immediately, but sometimes it'll list out like 4 or 5 different Sitelink extensions, and your ad might take up like a huge portion of the page here. So having these in place can really go a long ways to boost your performance. Now, in order to set these up is pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is come into Google Ads, select a campaign from the top here. Of course, I'm in campaigns. And then after I select a campaign, I'm going to assets here. Click on assets and then Sitelink. If you just click this filter, it'll show you only Sitelink extensions. If you don't already have any, it'll be blank, which is fine. All you'll need to do is press this little plus sign here and you can create a new one, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Okay, so once we click this blue plus sign right here, it's going to open up a page that looks just like this. And because we've already selected a campaign, it's already associating these new site links with the campaign we've selected. I like doing it that way. It's just easier. Personally, I like to set up site links for each individual campaign, sometimes even at the ad group level, just depending on what we're advertising. But you can technically set it up at the account level, meaning it will, if you set the site links up at the account level, it will show on every campaign, every ad in your entire account. I do not recommend going that route because you just don't have any control of what people are seeing and when they're seeing it. And sometimes certain campaigns, it makes more sense to send people to different pages. So I like to split it up either by the campaign or ad group. In this case, we'll just do campaign. From here, you'll see that it's going to give us a whole bunch of different boxes. We can add, I think, like 10, 15 different site links. You can add quite a few of them. You don't have to add that many, but ultimately, the more you add, the more Google is going to be able to test and figure out what's working the best for your specific campaign. From here, we would open one of these drop downs. You do need to have, I believe it's at least 3 or 4 in order for this to work. You probably don't want to just have try to just do one site link. You want to have at least 4 or 5 for Google to be able to test and figure out what's working. And then just like what we were seeing back here with these that are already set up and with the examples, things like discounts and special rates and stuff can really improve your click-through rate, because if somebody does a search for plumber near me and then they see, oh, they got this $33 drain special. That sounds amazing. My drain's clogged. I don't want to pay a lot of money. I just need to get this thing unclogged. They're going to click that link, go to that promotion page, because this is a specific page of the website that's probably a landing page. I'm not going to click on it because it would charge this company money, but it's probably a specific optimized page to boost conversions, right? So we would probably want to do the same thing here. Maybe we have like Well, we were just showing like 40% off special. Maybe it's like a 40% off holiday special. Now, there is a character limit. If I can type, oh my gosh. There is a character limit, so we can only use up to 25 characters. Right here, you can see we're using 23 of 25. And we can add in 2 descriptions. So I like to sort of prompt people with like what it is that this is all about and then a call to action. So you can say something like save big this holiday season. So that's kind of like selling the sizzle and not the steak, as we like to say in marketing. Click the link to get started. Something to that effect. So then somebody reads this and they go 40% off holiday special, save big this holiday season, click the link to get started. And then you would have some sort of a link like, 40 off or something like that, right? Now, of course, this is just an example, but you get the idea. The whole point is to make this enticing so that when it shows up on your ad, people are like, wait a minute, 40% off holiday special. Let me click there and see what that's all about. Boom, next thing you know, they're calling you for your services or buying your products or whatever the case may be, right? That's the whole idea. And we would essentially then just do that again. I also like to give people an easy way to get in touch with us. Contact us. You could do, if you're like a lead gen company, like a plumber, for instance, it could be free estimate, something of that nature. Some way where people can contact you to get more information, right? And you would basically do the same thing. Fill out the description, line 1, line 2, and the final URL. I do recommend that you fill out everything. These are recommended, the descriptions, but they are not required. So you can technically just do the site link and the URL and call it a day, but it's not going to be as effective. If we go back to our example, you can see it has the 2 descriptions right here. So $33 drain special, drains backed up, dial Delta, clog free guarantee. Short, simple, sweet, to the point. This is, I guess, Delta plumbing and drains. So dial Delta is kind of clever. Clog free guarantee makes a lot of sense, right? We would probably want to do something similar, but definitely don't copy your competitors. Google will actually get angry at you if you do that. But my recommendation is fill these all out. Once you've got them filled out, go ahead and save them. And then they're going to start showing alongside your ads. Now, one thing to note, once these site link extensions start showing up, you're going to start getting some of this data in here. This data can be a little bit confusing if you're not really aware of how this is all broken down. So let me kind of explain. This site link extension did not necessarily lead to 13 conversions. What actually happened is this site link extension showed up, these are impressions, 1,766 times alongside our ad. Now, these extensions will not show up every single time your ad appears. Like we were looking at before, there was examples down below where there's no site link extensions. That will happen part of the time no matter what. Google's never going to show your site link extensions on every single ad. It's just not how it works, okay? So what you're really looking for is, of the times that this site link extension showed up, how did things perform? Well, we got a $40 cost per conversion, which is actually, I think, lower than our overall conversion rate, or our cost per conversion, and a pretty high conversion rate, 20%, right? So we know that this site link extension is working quite well. These other ones are starting to get some data. I would probably want to run them more because $50 is nowhere near $500, right? Spending $500 is going to give you, 63 clicks is sufficient for us to get enough data to know how this site link is performing alongside our ads. This one only has 8 clicks. Probably even better to get like 100 clicks before you start making determinations of whether a site link extension is helping or hurting. Well, it's probably not going to hurt, but if you want to say pause this one because it's underperforming and just push this one more heavily, you can come over here and pause one of the site link extensions if you feel that the metrics are just not there, Like, let's say all of these had enough data and this one's just crushing it and these other ones are just not doing much. Well, I would probably go in and add some additional site link extensions, let those run for a bit, and start to get a sense of which ones are performing the best. And then you can optimize, which will just continuously improve your click-through rate as time goes on. So that is site link extensions in a nutshell. If there's anything you did have questions about, don't hesitate to reach out. Just drop your questions in the comment section down below, and we'll be sure to get back to them there.
Look, if you're the type of person that just doesn't even want to deal with Google Ads anymore, then you can always reach out to me. My company is Missoula SEO Geek. I'll leave a link to my website down below, but we do manage Google Ads for different companies in different industries, and you can come learn about what we do, what makes us unique. You can even read some of the testimonials from some businesses that we've taken from 0 to over $1 million in revenue, like this one here, and really just see that, this is the type of thing that's going to explode your business growth. So feel free to reach out. You can always give us a call or contact us through our website, and we'll look forward to working with you.